Hey, guys, welcome back. It's Friday. It's a celebration.
Woo! It's Friday night. We made it through another week.
Yes.
All right. All right. So we are going to start this Friday Night Live, and this is our 100th episode celebration. And we have brought on some of our guests.
Some heavy hitters, baby. Come on now. We got some heavy hitters
All
here.
right, we got some heavy hitters in the house. All right. We have Christina and Eddie Sludge from Sludge House Media, and we have Marlon and Lisa Crawford from Lisa and Marlon. So can you guys hear us good?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, we're on.
Yeah.
All right, so we are on. So there was a little change in plans. We are waiting for one of our other guests to pop on, and someone else had airplane change up, switch up, so we might have to do the timings and switch you guys around, but we are all game for some fun times and some interaction, right?
Yep.
All right.
She's here. All right, Angie, could you check your email? Check your email for me.
So we are waiting for Angela and Earl to pop
Hey,
on.
y'all. Hey, what's going on,
Hey,
Annette? How
Annette.
are you? It's good to see you. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for coming to party with us. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and get this thing started.
So we're going to see if Angela and Earl are able to pop on. If not, we're going to get started.
Well, we're just going to get started, and then I will. So I'm going to go ahead and give it to. I'll give it to the order of podcast.
So it's Christina, or you going to do Lisa first?
Yeah, I'll do Lisa because this is early on. I think Lisa and Marlon, you guys were like episode number. Man,
You should know.
man, it way back in the stack. I had to go
It
way.
was back when y'all was rookies.
You know what I'm saying? We didn't have all this high price stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, y'all didn't come up now.
Yeah. Let me see. They came up episode number 3. Now
Right.
that's going way back.
From the bottom to the top, right? All right. So we brought you guys on for each of our guests, our special guests, because we're all talking about marriage and how to make it work, right? And so Lisa and Marlon came on because this was their second time around. This was their second marriage, and they're telling us they're going to talk to us about how they did it right the second time.
Yeah.
And things that we can actually, if you are divorced and you're looking to get back into the field, or you're thinking about getting remarried, they can give you some advice and some tips and things that they learned from their first marriage, and how they apply that to their second marriage. All right, so let's give it to Lisa and Marlon.
All right, so go ahead, Lisa and Marlon. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Are you going to leave Christina and them on?
No, I'm just going to solo. Go ahead.
All right.
So you just go ahead and tell me a little bit about yourselves, so we can learn a little bit here.
So tell us what you want the audience to know. If you guys can take a moment to kind of think back of some of the things that you went through in your first marriage, and how that really helped you to understand the mindset of going into your second marriage.
Okay.
You want to start it off?
Well, so one of the things that we both agree that is really important for anybody who's going to this the second time around or third time around or whatever is to make sure you learn something from each relationship. So before you go into the next relationship, take a self-assessment and, recognize where you were at fault and where you could make some changes and work on improving yourself. Because whatever you take from another relationship, you can bring those same things into the new relationship. So you got to work on yourself first.
Now, that was a lot of heavy stuff there, wasn't it? Now,
yes, it was.
let me just put a full disclaimer. It didn't all just unfold that way. It happened. I think, from my perspective, one of the things that has really been a blessing for me and for us in our relationship is having gone through previous relationships that had some highs but a lot of lows. When you find that person that is your true match, your soulmate, first of all, there's a sense of appreciation that I can say for myself I took for granted the first time around, and so it humbled me to learn to not only appreciate Lisa and the relationship that we have, but to just have some fun. First of all, I think right off the bat we came into this thing prayerful and first of all getting God's blessings that we were supposed to be together. Because once you know for sure that this is the person you can be with, you're supposed to be with, that assurance allowed us to, right off the bat, learn to trust each other. I mean, even so much as even before we were married, I was already putting her on my insurance policy, because I trusted no one more than I trusted her early on in our relationship. So God gave me that confidence that this is who I was supposed to be with, and we just had the mindset that we were going to go into it both feet in, being prayerful, and being honest, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes we come into things carrying our baggages. Subconsciously, we don't realize it. And we've had our share of differences of opinion about how things should be done. And I had to learn the hard way that even though I thought that I did everything right, it was just the opposite, right? I literally used to say this to my wife. I told her that my ex-wife, that 99% of the times that we had an argument, I said it was her fault, and I really felt that way. The arrogance that I felt like I was doing things the right way and she was doing things the wrong way. And what I had to learn quickly is that I didn't have all the answers, and I'm not all of that. And Lisa made sure I realized that.
Yeah, you figured that out, huh?
Right.
You figured that out. So, hey guys, that's just a tad bit of Lisa and Marlon. You got to check out episode number 3. It was early on, but they dropped some gems. They gave us the thermostat. They told us about how to control that thermostat and what that's all about. So, you know what? It's a good thing when you put God first.
But I think the biggest thing is, if I can remember from that episode, is when what you actually posted, when Lisa was saying that when you all had issues, right? And Marlon's way of handling before was just kind of to walk away, right? Let me give her space. Let me give her time. And then Lisa said, well, what that did for me was left me with the baggage of having to try to deal with it on myself, by myself, trying to find the solution to myself, whereas we're not doing it together, which again makes us separate, right? So I'm feeling not loved. I'm feeling whatever the problem was. You were, Marlon, your answer was to let me walk away and give her space. But what Lisa really was saying is, what I really needed is for us to talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the issue. So what do you guys think about that with, because a lot of men do that, or a lot of women, sometimes we don't want to be bothered with it. So we just say, let them cool off, it'll get better. But that doesn't address the issue.
Right.
So what do you guys say about that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can tell you this. One of the things that you're absolutely right, Tina. I had this mindset that whenever she had those little wrinkles in her forehead, I know she was sick. I'm like, okay, I'm going to give you your space. I'm going to go my man cave. I'll let you work it out. And when you're happy, then we can reconvene. Because I'm all about happy.
But that is right on the head, because so many people think that. So many people think whatever she's dealing with, whatever he's dealing with, I'm going to give him time. I'm going to let him cool off. And when they start back smiling, then I'm going to come back in the picture and everything's going to be, right on point. So then what happened after that? So, but what made you realize that, hey, that's not what's happening?
Well, so for me, what I realized was the longer I delayed the inevitability of confronting those issues, all that happened was it got worse. And we may not be arguing anymore, but we're not talking anymore.
Absolutely.
We're not talking. We're not laughing as much. We're not as intimate as much. And so I had to realize, you idiot, if you don't confront this, you're going to lose your good thing. And it's going to, like anything else, if you don't water it, it's not going to grow. And so I tell people all the time as I mentor with couples, I treat a marriage, I look at it like a house. If you have a house, guys, we know that, there are certain things that have to be done, or guys and girls, that things have to be done to the house. And for example, if you start to grow weeds around your house, those weeds are not going to go away on their own. Nope. Once they start to grow, they'll take over the house if you don't what?
That's right.
You got to go pluck them, pull them things out. Oh no!
You got to go address them.
Right.
You got to address that.
Right.
And marriage is the same way. You have to deal, as painful as it is, you have to deal with those issues, because if you don't, it's just going to grow and get worse and manifest itself. And then you're at the point where you wonder what happened and your relationship is falling apart.
So Lisa, I'm gonna go back before you go in, Lisa. Marlon makes us think he did it all on his own.
I know he did.
He came to the realization all
I
on
was
his
gonna
own.
say.
All right, so Lisa, tell us the truth first. What really happened?
Right. Well, I mean, communication is really important because, like you said, he loves it when everything's all smiles and everybody's good. But, one of the things that we talked about, and I really, and it stuck, and it was a big kind of turning point, is to understand that really what a relationship is loving someone even when they're not lovable. It's so easy to love somebody when they're smiling at you and, and they're doing all the things that you love. But when they're not in a good mood, when they're not able to pour and love on you, but they need you, what are you doing then? And so that having those conversations, talking about those times, and really kind of figuring out what is it that we each need.
All right, Lisa, you guys paused.
Yep.
You guys went through a bad spot.
I think they hit a bad spot. Yep. All right. Well, hold that thought, Lisa.
Oh, okay.
You back?
All
okay.
Right. All right, Lisa. So you said, what does the person need? You kind of went out for a minute.
Yep, because, we're driving and backing up and all of that. But, but yeah, just loving you when you're not lovable is just really important.
Okay. All right. I see. We got the guest.
Is it you? We sounded feeling some feedback. All right.
Just a little bit. All right. I'm going to bring on Angela and Earl just popped in. You guys ready to go? You guys good?
But before we do Angela and Earl, what is our key words to drop in for the giveaways?
Are we doing giveaways? Are we supposed to be giving away prizes and stuff today?
That's right.
All right.
So we're gonna have to have people start typing in what needs to be typed in, so we can get us some winners.
Okay. All right. Let's do that. All right. We got some stuff to give away. We got a lot of stuff to give away. We got a lot of prizes today. A lot of surprises. I was working hard. I think I was working hard. I don't know. I don't know why I put it in there. I don't know.
So Lisa, if you're not on mute right now, so if you could, I'm getting some feedback. If you,
I mean, it might be.
Is it coming through your speakers in the car?
It might be.
Is it better? Any better?
Yeah, that's better.
It's better. Yeah. So if you could tell us, because we talk about communication, but it's not just communication, but effective communication. Being able to effectively. I got the feedback back.
Yep. Oh. All right, hold on 1 second. Let me go to the Sludge. So hold on, guys.
What did we just?
All right. There we go. Now, you know what? You guys could always chime in too. We just having a conversation. This is an open forum. We're not. Just,
okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So
right.
You guys wanted to make some comments with them and talk about it and interact. And that goes with the rest of the panel. So are you bringing them in to talk?
Oh yeah. We're gonna bring them.
No, I think Angie and Earl, and then we're gonna bring in the slate. Everything that
okay.
All right, cool. That got thrown off. So
that's cool. That's cool. Not a problem. Let me add them to the stream.
All right. So what are we gonna do about the giveaways?
Oh, the giveaways. Yeah, I'm still working on the giveaway.
Are you trying to find it?
Yeah.
Okay. So what was the word that you had?
I can't give them the word. Hey, what's going on, Angela? How are you?
All right. So welcome to the show, Angela and Earl Dillon. Or Earl, it only says Angela.
Yeah, it's her computer, baby.
So she forgot how to change the name. All right.
Are
So
you on
Angie,
mute? 'Cause
you
I
on
can't hear
mute. You must be on mute.
We on mute?
Yeah.
No, you're good.
We're not.
We're not on mute.
All right,
Yeah, we can't hardly hear.
Angela, say something.
Okay, now say
What?
something.
Nope, can't
No.
hear her.
All right, get your sound together. We'll come back.
We cannot hear you guys. All right, we're gonna come back to you again.
All
All
right.
right. So
Here we go.
I guess so here is Christina and Eddie, and they were episode number what?
Oh boy.
80.
80 something, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
83?
it was the 80s.
That's it.
87.
Yeah, there you go.
All right,
Yeah.
so 87,
Yeah.
and Eddie's and Christina's story was
Whew,
funny and a little bit. It's like they together broke up and then got back together. Wasn't even dating, and they ended up getting married. All right, so why don't you guys give us a real quick synopsis of what happened, how you got together, and why did our episode say we were meant to be together?
Oh yeah. So, we met in high school. It was not love at first sight. Eddie was definitely trying to pursue another young lady at the
Ooh.
time, and I
Probably
was with somebody else.
First or second week of high school.
Yeah.
Freshman year.
Yep, in high school, and I was with someone else at the time, but I kind of, I was looking at him at the corner of my eye, and I really did like him, and
Yeah.
so we had one of our friends kind of play matchmaker to kind of get us together, and then it was just kind of off from there. And but we knew throughout all of that time together that we just had these connections that we didn't know about at first.
Yeah.
And we found we were born in the same hospital. We had, mutual like family friends that lived near each other proximity wise. So there was just like this opportunity that we could have missed each other all these different times. And so we just knew that this could be, wow, he could be the one, she could be the one. And we broke up, he broke up with me.
You broke up with me first.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
But
Get that on the record.
Let's
Let's get that on the record.
but he broke up with me the day after my 16th birthday.
But you broke with me first.
So, but yes.
Okay.
And then, we went our separate ways. I went to college. He went off to the Army, and we had different relationships during that time, like 4 years almost. And then Christmas Eve, his father kind of matchmaked us again, and
told a little fib.
told a little fib.
Said that if Christine asked you Christina said if you asked her to marry you, what would you say? And I said, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, but knowing that he asked her that earlier, and then he came back and asked me, and I took it as she brought it up to him, and it's an engagement. So that night I asked her to marry me. Less than 2 months later, we eloped. We was broke.
Yeah, we had
We
How
eloped.
much money? How much money
So
did you have in your
everybody-
pocket? Hold
so
on. I
everybody-
want to know how much money you had in your pocket.
We had well, I was wearing my class A's from the Army. She was wearing a high school prom dress. Once we said I do, we jumped in the car. It was a snowstorm, so I carried over, put it inside the car, and I had 2 quarters, 50 cents in my pocket.
Yep.
And we just looked at each other, and I went to the nearest payphone, called my father, told him that we got married. Western Union's us $50. Our first meal was KFC.
Yep.
The next day, I asked for a divorce.
He did. He did.
She
Yes.
didn't want to give me
But
one.
that goes back to the communication. And,
Yeah.
He had this idea in his head that marriage was about, public displays of affection anytime you wanted to. And we never actually discussed that, right? So we're at day one of our marriage, or the day one of our marriage. And he just assumed that, we were just going to make out in the frozen section of the grocery store,
Yeah.
So
And it's funny you said that because expectation, right? What we have in our head, right? I'm married now. I could just wow. So what was your reaction, Christina?
I was,
She
said,
did it politely.
Yeah,
She
I
said
was polite. I said, no, I'm a lady. I'm not comfortable with that, and I'm fine with it in closed doors.
But see,
doors.
I never grew up. I didn't grow up watching I never saw any great marriage, or I never saw a strong marriage. Especially my house. I just grew up with all men because my mother passed away when I was young, so I never experienced the ups and downs, the yes or no's of a marriage. So I'm thinking all the men that's in my household, the way they express their feelings to their girlfriends or the women they was dating was affection.
Right.
So I'm like, we can't go wrong with that. What woman doesn't want that? You know, every woman, oh, you don't touch me, you don't give me affection. So I'm right off the bat. And plus, so in high school, you know, I was trying to get with a friend, but then she, you know, a friend matched made us and said, well, you know, Christine will go out with you. And I'm like, okay, you know, I could do that. Yeah, she looks good. I'll do it. You know, I mean, not do it, but I was happy to do it.
Right.
But the next day, ever since that day, I just been chasing her. You know, even to this day, I will have a dream. I have a bad dream, and I'm like, she left me and something like that because she did it before. So, nonetheless, I'm still chasing her to this day, even in my dreams, right? So once I said I do, once I said, you know, in the same way that I said, yeah, I'll do it when he was dating, she said the same thing to my father when we was engaged, like, you know, oh yeah, I'll do it. And you know, that's just how we got together. But we always knew we was meant for each other.
We just, you know, we threw caution to the wind, but we also knew deep down inside, because like I said, I prayed for him. I prayed for the right man to enter my life when I was kind of going through a bad relationship right before we got engaged. And so that very same day is when we saw each other again. So I knew at that moment, wow, you know, this is meant to be, you know, when I was presented with the decision to make, to say, you know, should we get married or not? I said, absolutely, because I just knew that was my prayer being answered. So, yeah, so that's kind of our story in a nutshell. Yeah.
It's crazy because 22 years later,
22 years. We've been married,
if she wouldn't hold my hand in the street, it just feels funny because I don't want to see every time I touch her, we have a 10-second rule. So if I touch her, you know, 10 seconds later, anything can happen. So if I hold her hand for 10 seconds, I just want to do some Pebble and Pew stuff, and then it go back to, no, we can't do it here. Don't touch me and stuff like that. So we walk in the street, you know, we just walk side to side, like, you know, okay.
Yeah, because after 10 seconds, he's ready to
elevate.
You know,
Yeah.
Jessica, we're talking about guys like that who really can't touch without the escalation.
Yeah.
But touch is, as you said before, touch is an important part of a relationship.
For sure.
So one of our things that we're putting in our course is to help couples to understand there's a time where we need touch just for connection. And then there's a time that we need touch for that 10-second rule to
touch.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So we have to be able to walk and hold. Christina may want to just know that, you know, hey, I want to hold your hand.
Right.
And
I just want to hold you. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
she lets me know when 9 seconds is up. Like, hey, it's 9 seconds, and I'm like, all right. So then I know from there to take it further, or I just say, you know what, you know, I gotta stop. But hey, I love everything about this woman. Ever since I said I do in high school, I go out with her. I've been chasing her, and I love everything about this woman. So I know from that moment on, I know I was gonna chase her, and she's gonna be my wife somehow, some way. So this is what it is.
And you know what? It come across in everything you say and everything you do.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're actually gonna come back to that because it was really funny. I want to go back to the paper towels back in your story, in your episode.
Oh yeah, that's funny. So as I said, we were going to give something away. And today we're going to give away a free mug. There's a couple of things we're going to give away. This is the first thing.
I'm like, so are you going to do it now, or do you want them to type in the mug?
The mug. Yeah, I give you time. Hashtag the mug.
And you guys are welcome to join in too. Yep. So and if you guys are able to
type it in the chat.
Type in the mug.
Yeah.
And it's just loving beyond. Is it my shirt?
What's that?
Nope. Is it your shirt? Oh, it's a loving beyond the I do
mug.
Podcast mug. I was trying to see the same emblem.
Mug, baby. Talking about mug. Why you grabbing your shirt?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't know. Loving beyond I do.
Okay, baby. All right.
All right. Let's bring in Angela and Earl. So we want you to type into the comments the mug, and then we're gonna randomly choose the name.
All right. Let me see. Let me get this going. All right. Angela and Earl. Can we hear you now?
Are you guys straight? You are very, very low. I can hear your movement better than I can hear you.
I don't know. It's all the way up.
Is your mic on? Do you guys have the right mic on?
Yeah,
it's not us.
You're
it's
like
Jason.
extremely. No, you're extremely low.
Very, very low. Is your volume turned up? Like,
No, that wouldn't have anything to do with it.
all right, that sounds
It's
good.
getting
Earl,
better.
what did you
You're
do?
getting there. You keep going.
Nope, went back out. Come on, guys. Come on. It's a 1 hour show.
At the 9-second rule.
Right. Ding, 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 ding. Yep.
So either you guys are gonna have to scream. Do you want to go out and come back in? Maybe that'll work.
Yep, you can do that.
All right. So we'll come back to you guys again. All right.
Listen, we have to go celebrate our Mother's Day. We'll be back.
All right.
So if you guys need to, well, all right.
She's like, I'm out of here.
Right. Pretty much. All right. All right. So
All right,
type in the mug.
Type it in there again, guys, for me. I'm starting to collect.
So for the first giveaway, we're typing away the mug. Let's do our who have made some comments, Jason.
Okay.
So we had Lanice on there. I know I saw hers.
Oh, you know what? You know what? You guys can't type it in the. Unfortunately, you can't type it in the private chat. It has to go out. So you actually have to go out to the stream and get it. Sorry.
Oh, so they can't get it from
So
there.
they can't get it from there.
All right. So Annette, we had Annette at the top,
Mm-hmm.
and she
I got that.
said,
Yeah.
all right.
You're late with that.
Well, we could just say it again, so because I didn't really say hey to Annette. I don't know if
Okay.
she's still on.
Yep. We said hey to Annette.
All right. And then
Angela's like, help. Angela's like, I need help. You're in the wrong
yeah,
place.
we had Lanice.
Yeah, hey family. Hey,
All
thanks for
right.
checking us out, Lanice. We greatly appreciate it. Hey, so if you're in there, we are giving away a mug.
The mug.
Yep. So hashtag the mug. Type that in.
All right. So that's our first giveaway for the night. If we can get through it, type in the mug.
Yep.
All right.
Type in the mug.
All right. So Marlon and Lisa and Christina and Eddie. So what do you guys when you're I know I was talking to Lisa and you had cut her off and I had asked her about the effective communication. Before I go to the next question. So when you say communication is important.
Oh, Annette. Oh, I want to say this. Annette, thank you very much. Annette said she was going to be at a concert and she wasn't going to be able to come on, but she showed up. Thanks a lot. I know it's probably loud. Yeah, she's multitasking. I appreciate you even taking the time out of your busy schedule. Thanks.
All right. So Lisa, how was it expressed? How do we get to that point of effective communication where we understand that I don't need you to walk away. I need you actually to be here with me to talk about the things that we need to talk about. How do you get couples to understand that? Because so often we just get fed up, right? Things get old, we get, set in our ways and we just don't want to deal with the issues of relationships, and as Marlon, as you said, the weeds in our relationship. So how do you get people to understand that communication, effective communication, how do we get to that point?
Right. Well, so a couple of things, like how do you get to knowing how important it is? I think that's where, when I'm talking about how we learned some things from previous relationships, you saw what happens when you don't do it. You see how it's like, and then those relationships, before long they end. And so when you're with the right person, you don't want that to end. So you already know what can happen if you don't, right? So you have that. But then what we've learned to do is you do the unexpected. So if you find yourself in the cycle of like Marlon said, you see somebody's not happy and you figure I did everything because I'm right? So now they're not happy, so they gotta, take some time to deal with whatever their issue is, and then they'll come back. But when you realize that that's not being effective, one of the things that you can do is do something unexpected. So one of the things we had shared is that when someone isn't, when that there's something between or something going on, instead of walking away, lean into them, go get somebody and just hug them. When you see that they're not, really in the mood that you would hope that they would be in, but you do something unexpected, instead of building that up and creating the animosity, show them that you're there, and that really puts the defenses down and starts to open up that space so you can have a conversation.
So you say, Marlon, you want some ice cream?
Right. Well, if I can add to that, let me be more specific. So Lisa is one of those people that she's not afraid. She ain't no punk. Something if something you're doing is bothering her, she's going to tell you about it.
Mhm.
Okay? Even it may be the most insignificant thing to you. If there's a problem, she's going to tell you about it.
Not
And
on any weed.
right. So I can give you an example. One time we had early on in our relationship, I invited her to I was in the military. We had some kind of holiday party or something, and she noticed that, for example, I'm a very touchy feely kind of person.
Okay,
What-
Marlon, you know what? I don't mean to cut you off. I want you to hold that story because I know Angela and Earl has to go. So,
Okay.
and I know your stories can, but hold on to it. Don't forget it,
Oh,
Marlon.
before they go, I want to see if they get a chance to win.
All right, did they were able to tap?
Yeah,
Okay.
they got it. All right, so let me go ahead and run this right quick.
All right, so we're gonna do this first giveaway. Everybody had a chance to type into the chat the mug, hashtag the mug.
Yep.
All right, so let's randomly do it, and then we're going to come back to Angela and Earl because we know they were in and out. Angela, if you guys need to, if we can't hear you, you can actually just go on your phone like Lisa and Marlon, and then just do it in the car if that works for you guys.
You still can't hear us?
No. We can hear the back, but it's like very, very low.
All right, guys.
All right, let's do our
Well, then,
first
here we
drawing.
go. Let's do our first drawing for the mug.
Maybe I should have put my name in there.
You should have. All right, let's
All
see.
right.
Good luck, everybody.
Good luck.
Martha!
Martha Donaldson! All right.
Way to go.
Martha for the mug.
Yes,
No,
yes.
it was like dit. All right, so let's get. So Angela and Earl, if you guys want to, we can continue with that. Or you guys just want to log on onto your cell phone? Okay, that's what she's doing.
Okay.
All right, so you guys come out of this stream and we'll just pick you up on the other stream. Again.
Yep.
All right, Marlon. Thank you so much. All right, so continue your story.
Yeah. So part two. So she was. We were at this party, and she had told me. We got home. She was like, "Hey, you were touching that girl on her elbow." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? You kept touching this one particular girl on her elbow." I'm like, "And what is that supposed to mean?" Long story short, she was helping me to understand that what I couldn't appreciate in terms of boundaries, right? Things that we may not think.
Look at Eddie. Look at Eddie. What you say, Eddie? Exactly.
So I didn't get it
Yeah.
right away. We had a few arguments about that, right?
Uh-huh.
So
Wow.
one of the things that I used to always say to her was, "Oh, you're overreacting. You're making something, right?"
Yep.
Because I'm never wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so I had to learn through a lot of arguments and her not letting up. She was not, mean, but she was just very direct. And so, to a point about effective communication, she's able to have those tough conversations, even if it means it's going to cost us, our closeness, our intimacy. She doesn't care. And so I had to learn that if I wanted to grow and get past that, I had to understand where she was coming from and not to just get her to shut up, right?
Hey,
Get it.
Right.
yeah. I don't hug anyone except for family, brother.
Quiet.
Hey. See, my father. I grew up listening to my father. My father used to call everyone good looking. Like, hey, good looking. Hey, baby. And one time, I'm thinking nothing of it. We in the drive-through, and this woman was butt ugly. And I'm like, hey, how you doing? Thank you, love, or something like that. And Chris just gave it to me, and I'm like, ain't that deep? I ain't trying to get this woman, but it's something that we have embedded in us. Like it's to us. It's like it's nothing. Like,
Yeah, but I
don't want this
told
woman.
him, a woman could take that the wrong way.
Absolutely.
Well, I ain't gonna see her again. I ain't gonna see this
Yeah.
woman
She's
again.
always-
It doesn't matter.
I ain't gonna do the
But there
drive-through.
was a woman that you would see every day, and you would greet her, and you're like, "Hey, beautiful, how are you doing?" And I said, "No, you cannot do
and
that."
I respect that. I
Yeah.
understand that because if a man said that to her, listen, bro, listen, this is not gonna work.
All right.
So
That's what we got.
you know what it is? It's putting yourself in their shoes,
Right.
and we don't do that because we like ain't that deep. But if we put ourselves in the shoe and the man did that and keep touching my wife's elbow, we like, hey, my man,
Right.
what's
So what
going
did
on?
Lanice say?
That man
What
likes,
Lanice-
you know what I'm saying? You're not even thinking anything
Yep.
about it.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it's so
So
very,
very
very
important
important.
having hard conversations.
That's true, especially when you don't like it.
That's a very big thing because Jason definitely has a habit of doing that.
I am.
And
and
I
I-
Can you hear us?
Yeah. Yes. So we're gonna get back to that. Thank you, Angela, for hanging in there. All right. So, but that's definitely something we need to talk about. So, Angela and Earl, what episode were they?
Ooh, they were early on too. They was way early.
So they were a couple of episodes. I know they were
Yeah.
episode.
We did one with the family during a
So-
holiday break. But
Yes.
this is their solo.
We got
came-
stranded. Remember when the pandemic first
When
started?
the
Right.
pandemic first hit.
And Angela was here visiting,
Yep.
and she couldn't get home to Earl. But that's not what we want to talk about. What I want to talk about is so often,
Bingo.
a
There
couple
we
of
go.
weeks back, they were episode number 12. So
12.
distance makes the
Way
heart grow
back in-
fonder,
yep.
right?
Way
So
back
she
in
was
the stack.
concerned about because her flight kept getting canceled and nobody could
She wanted
fly.
to get home to her baby.
But we invited them because we wanted to them to express because a couple of episodes back when we had the other couple on, and she was going through some things, and the issue was that her husband didn't know how to help her.
Yep.
Right. So
Yeah.
as men,
Nareen
that you don't
and
want
David.
to see your wife in pain, and you want to find ways to help them, but you don't know how. So we want them to talk about, and Earl to talk about how did he know what the right things to do, right? Because as women, we're like, you can't take away our pain, but we need you to be there. Like, support us in the way that you can.
Oh, you talking about when she was going there with
Yes.
Mom?
So yeah. So
and
Angela,
he
if
was
you
there
guys
to support each other.
yeah. So Angela, if you could talk about that, you and Earl could talk about that real briefly about what you were going through and how he was there for you, and then Earl, kind of give us your mindset at that time.
Well, if you're talking about the time when my mom had a stroke and I was leaving at like 5:30 in the morning, going to work, and then going straight to take care of her afterwards, and not getting home until like 11:30 at night. And when I left, everyone was asleep. Him and the kids were asleep, and I was leaving. And then when I got home, they were still asleep. And as I sat back and thought about it, and then on the weekends when I went to go take care of her, he would come right along with me, and just even when I brought her to the house to take care of her, he was just there with me every step of the way, just helping, just supporting, just holding down the house while I wasn't there, because I was gone for long hours and for like a long span. This wasn't just a week. This was months. Okay. This was years that this happened. And when I sat back and thought about it, I was just so grateful. I was just so appreciative and so grateful. And I just looked at him and I'm like, what are you thinking during all of this? Like what's going on
Right.
in your head? Because in my head, I'm just torn here. I'm working off for like 5 or 6 hours sleep, and I'm not really thinking. I'm just kind of going. I'm just like a machine. I'm just kind of going and not thinking. And then when I sat back and I think about it, I was like, wow, you were like really doing it. Like, you are really handling the house. Like, you just kind of took over and just kind of, took a burden off of me. So
As opposed to him
Well-
just nagging you, right? As most men, you're never here, right? It could have been that where he was more nagging or not so supportive in the area of what you were doing. So go ahead, Earl.
Well, the thing was, like you said, I didn't quite know how to help her,
Right.
but I knew how to help try and support her. And I said the best thing right now is not to come at her and rag about, you always spend all your time with your mother, you spend all your time away from the house. I said, when she gets ready, she'll let me in and we'll talk about it. I said, but right now we have a household. It takes two. When one is not there, the other one had to step up.
Wonderful. Mhm.
And that's something my sister-in-law told me, that marriages and relationships don't just happen, they're built.
Mhm.
Okay, and before I can even start on a marriage or a relationship, I knew I had to work on me, which took some time because I was living foul. I don't mean to put my business in the street, but I knew I wasn't right. But in order to have this woman,
They did not sign a DND.
I
Did
knew
not
I had
disclose.
to work on me and open up, and
Right.
I vowed to support her. And I'll tell anybody, a lot comes with what I do.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah,
But
for sure,
so
for
how many years have you guys been married?
sure. 30?
30.
We're gonna go with 30.
You take 30 for the
Vanity,
win.
I'll take 30 for the, and so that's important. But what I'm hearing is that through marriage, right, through every day and all the trials, we're each learning and growing how to become better in
Definitely,
marriage.
Exactly.
definitely.
Right.
Exactly.
And one of the
Definitely.
biggest thing, if I could say, is that there's couples out there that have been married and they feel as though, well, we've been married for 20 years. There's nothing you can tell me. I don't need to hear it. The problem isn't that you need to hear it. The problem is that, are you working on your marriage? As you said, Earl, marriages are built, right?
Yeah.
Right.
They just don't happen. Marlon, you talked about the weeds, Eddie, you talked about, hey, I have to continue
Exactly.
to touch her and support her, right? These are things that we constantly need, and people are forgetting that happens in the beginning, but it's those other years that make the difference. How it's not just being married, but are you happy in your marriage? Are you working towards the type of marriage that you want and being able to support
Right.
her? And like you said, not come at her. To me, that was so important. And Angie actually wrote on one of our blogs about that, how he was there for me.
her.
Right. And it was really very, very touching because oftentimes men don't know what to do, or they're feeling left out. They're feeling
Right.
neglected. And oftentimes they do come at you. But learning how to kind of work on yourself and say, you know what, this is not even about me. This is a time where I need to
Right.
support her and not go against her. I thought that was very, so we wanted to just talk about that and the things that you learned in that, of being able to support each other. And if we all can touch on that, real quickly, because we all need support, right?
Right.
We've all gone through things.
I do remember when I would come home and it would be like midnight or after, and I would just be exhausted. I would pretty much just pass out across the bed, and I would just be laying there just like, and he would reach across and he would just start rubbing my back. And I don't know if you know it, but this man has magic hands. And
No, I wouldn't know that. I would not know that.
No, we want to take your word for that one.
Anybody else know that, right?
Somebody else know he got magic hands.
I may not know this, but let me tell you.
All right.
I mean, his hands would just like wash away all the stress, all the worry. And then with each stroke, it would just relax me. You know what I mean? And I felt so comforted with just a stroke of rubbing my back. It was just something that simple,
So y'all don't have a 10-second rule, huh?
We do, but normally I forget to count. So
I tell people, marriages are great, but when a man is in love with a woman, like truly in love with a woman,
yes,
a great man is like a unicorn. Like I can't find anyone else like me. It's like we rare, a great man
that's right.
that loves a woman in a marriage.
Yep.
That's doing what we need to do. That rock when you need to be that rock, that pillow when I need to be that pillow, the person that yell at you when I need to yell at you.
Right.
Those kind of things are just rare because you would think that people would know that in a marriage, but in long marriage, but a lot of people don't know. They don't even. I know people that have been married 20 years and 40 years, matter of fact, and it's so much stuff dug under the cover that everyone else behind us is tripping over it. Yes. Everybody else is tripping over the dirt that's under the rug. So it's rare to have someone, both sides, that understand and love each other. But a man that loves a woman, I mean, that's it's like Percy Sludge said, it's priceless. When a man loves a woman, it's priceless.
It is.
It is. And just being supportive is so important. We don't all know what to do, right?
No, we don't.
Yeah.
We don't.
But it's funny how when men need that support, women, we know what to do, don't we?
Yeah,
we're always right.
Well, we're easy. All right.
We're the mother, we're the nurse, we're the teacher. Exactly.
We're the psychiatrist.
Right.
We're the
Nurturer.
cheerleader. All right,
lawyer.
The lawyer, yeah.
We're
Alright,
the
so we-
stripper. We know it all.
Come on now. Yeah. That's old Magic Hand boy over there.
Magic hands. Yep.
Magic hand.
All right, if we don't have any more comments, we got any more comments, Jason?
No, we're gonna go ahead and give away.
He has other magic parts, but I'm gonna leave that off
Yes,
the show.
please,
The show is
unicorn.
PG. It's their family.
I think
So
we
second
all
room.
think, I think we all think we have those magic parts.
We unicorns.
Yeah.
We
I'm a
unicorns.
Leo. 10 seconds don't matter to me.
And, hey, we all unicorns.
That's
What's
right.
our next giveaway?
Well, the next one is this one, but I
Yeah.
want to talk it up a little bit. I want
All right.
to go over this one. See that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about that. So,
All right.
another-
So
yeah, right.
I gotta kind of get this going. So we met
We know.
Eddie and Christina,
We're
and
gonna
I
just do like that.
reached out to them to have them.
Angie, you're not
You still
on
on
mute.
you still on mute.
Okay, there
Okay.
you go.
And we reached out to them to have them on the podcast just because we just believed in that story, that the story of Christina and I. And they came in and they rocked the house, and it was just we just created this bond, right? Which was wonderful. All right. And then they did the Friday Night Live and everything. We were rolling around, and they said, "Hey, when this next book come out, we're gonna write you guys in it."
Wasn't that amazing?
And I was like,
so
really?
honored.
I
They
said-
got us in the book.
I said, "You put us in the book." I said, "Right." I
They
said,
put us
"Okay."
in the
I said,
book, baby.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm dealing with the right type of folks here.
All right. So our next giveaway is their book.
Yeah. So
We are going to
Okay.
give away the book.
yeah.
You show-
go ahead
show
and talk
what's
to
in
me
there.
about it.
So tell us about the book.
Hello.
So tell us about the book, Eddie and Christina.
Okay.
Good.
Oh wow. So this book is called Andre's Confessions. It's part 2 to Ricardo's Collisions. It is the second part of a 3-part series. So it starts rather where Ricardo Collisions ends off. Andre, who is this handsome man right here behind me, he is a detective that is on the run for committing a murder, and now he's trying to do everything it takes not to be caught. So he's a fugitive, and in that story, it's just so much twists and turns. It's a thriller. It's a page turner. It keeps you wanting more until the end, just like Ricardo's Collision. So you'll want to read both of them. So yeah, I mean, it has a little bit of everything: romance, suspense, thriller. Definitely full of action packed.
All right, guys. So type into the chat #the book. Come on, guys, and you get to read Loving Beyond the I Do podcast in the book.
Chapter 6.
All right,
Chapter 6.
chapter 6.
Yeah. Page
All right.
39. Yeah. Chapter 6. Yeah. Yeah. Right there. Yeah. Right there. Yeah.
Right there.
That's what I'm talking about.
Second paragraph.
There
Yeah.
you go, Eddie. There you go. We made it in the book.
Yeah.
All right, so let's put that in. Give people some time to put in #the book, and it's not only about us being in the book, but I'm sure we haven't gotten our copy yet. We're gonna get us one, and we are going to read it. But I'm sure it is very good, because so was the first one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, so you're gonna love it, and we're gonna wait for part 3.
Right. That's
So,
next year.
Yeah, there you go. So during the pandemic, you guys started Sludge House, right?
Sludge House Media.
So go ahead and tell us a
Yes.
little bit about that.
Oh yeah. So Sludge House Media, it is our company is a multi media company where we develop books, we publish books. We actually produced a short film called Maryland Closed for COVID. You can find that on our website, sludgehousemedia.com. And we're actually working on a documentary that goes along with our first book, the story of Christina and I. That'll be out this summer. So,
All right.
and we have several other books, but the next stage of our chapter Sludge House Media is screenplays and then the movies that we're working on. So
Wonderful. Well,
stay tuned.
congratulations.
Jeez,
Thank
that's what
you.
I'm
All right.
talking about.
Everybody type that in, the book.
The book.
Got to be in it to win it.
That's
All
it
right,
for
Lisa
sure.
and Marlon, did you guys get it in? Angie, did you guys get it in? All right, let's go.
All right. that's
All
it,
right,
baby.
let's
That's
get it. Let's see.
Yeah, right now.
Yep, right now.
Right
Let's
now.
go. Right now.
Right now.
Oh, baby, it's 6:54. All right,
I
not
know.
that we're not on the time restraints,
Yeah,
but
I know.
anyway.
It's celebration, baby. Celebration.
Celebration.
That's
All right, let's go.
All right, so let me go ahead and. All right, everybody ready?
We
Do I
actually
need
have one more guest coming on, and she's just made it home and Sludge.
Okay.
Getting ready to.
Oh, that's fine,
try
that's
to
fine.
Log on,
All
sign
right.
on.
I got any more entries going in?
Any more
more?
entries?
Come on.
Going once, going twice. Anybody? Everybody put it in there. Everybody put it in there. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right, the book.
And you know what? I cleared it out so you can win multiple times. At first, I was just going to allow you to win one time, but you know what? I feel I'm in the giving mood, so you can win as many times as you like, right?
If God wants you to. All right.
That's right. If it's for you, you'll have it.
That's right. All right, let's go.
All right,
That would be funny if the same person won everything, right? But go ahead.
That would be funny.
Talking about God working.
No, that'd be favor for sure.
For sure, walking in favor.
Yes.
All right, let's do the drawing.
All right,
What's
here we
that
go.
drum roll?
I don't have a drum roll. I got a yep. All right, here we go. Let's go. Good luck.
Good luck, everyone.
I see it.
Yep. Come on. Who we got? Yeah!
Lisa almost had it.
Love of the poet.
What's
Love
funny?
it.
What's funny, Lisa, is that her name is Lisa too.
Two.
Lisa said yeah, and it's
Oh wow!
It's sort of like the Price is Right wheel.
yes.
What the hell?
And we have no control over it.
Right.
It's computer
Random.
automated, so we have no control over it.
It all goes
That's
off your
funny.
entry. So
So
yeah.
let's show that real quick. Show the winner.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Let me add them back to the stream. There you go.
There, the winner is Lava the Poet. All right,
And that's perfect.
congratulations.
That's
Congratulations!
Yes,
All
Lava, you're
right.
gonna love the book.
You're gonna
We'll get the
love
book out.
it.
Yep,
All right, let's remove it.
baby.
Oh, you move? Okay, you ain't moving fast enough. Okay, my
see?
bad.
5149, baby. 5149.
So we're gonna go back to that question about the touching, right?
Okay.
Because and so this was and it, Marlon, when we were doing the interview, you mentioned that you no longer, you had to learn that, but you no longer give that impression to women anymore. Because I used to tell Jason, you may not mean it like that, but women see it as an opportunity. They wow, he's with his wife and he's talking to me, or he's looking at me, or he's calling me baby, or and Jason would, he's talking and laughing because he's a funny guy, but the waitress doesn't know that, right? She's thinking, wow, he's sitting here flirting with me and his wife is right there. And I'm like, baby, you can't be friendly with. So case in point, not putting our business out there, but case in point,
He was like it's coming.
we were at an event for him at work, right? We were doing an event, and a young lady came to ask him to do something, and he put his hand on her back.
And then I had a conversation. Yes, Eddie, I know, Eddie, I know.
But he didn't, and it wasn't just that your hand is on her back to lean in to listen. It's not only what she's thinking, but a touch says a lot. Not only that, but what if it made me feel funny, what about everybody else who was watching it, right? So we know that touching is a way of communicating, right? Touch is a way of communicating.
Yep.
If I want you to know that, hey, I want you to meet me upstairs, or hey, I'm going to the bedroom, if I touch you a certain way, So, so or look, right? But men don't really get this. And I say that because I have spoken with other women who say the same thing to their husband. They're like, well, I didn't mean anything. It didn't mean anything bad. So if we can go one by one, if each guy can kind of
you could just chime in.
one guy, tell me what your thoughts are, your opinion. I'm a mute.
I mean, it's true. I mean, and even for men or women, it's until that person, with anything, right? Until that person gets it, like wash the dishes, until they get it in their head that that's their job and they have to wash the dishes, then, we thinking nothing of it. I'll wash it later. But to her, she wants to wash it now. So it goes with anything. So with the touching and stuff like that, I had to get it, and I got it, and I learned it quickly, and I put myself in her shoes. I do not want a man put a hand on her back, co-worker or not. I don't want a man, because it's same thing as a woman. You thinking, what the hell is he doing? She thinking that they're just co-workers, but to me, I'm thinking like he think he's getting ahead, like he's winning. Like if I could do this, then I could do that. If I could do this, I could, and I tell her anytime. I said, look, I even tell my daughters, like, when someone touch you, if you don't like it, you tell them right away. Because if you don't, then we think it's because I used to do it when I was younger.
Mhm.
Someone,
See?
I touch
Yep.
someone in the way and they liked it. Okay, then I know you like me. But unless we recognize and put someone and let them know it's not okay, it's not okay. So I understood that and I respect that because I don't want a man touch her elbows. I don't want a man touching her. Period.
I got you.
And
Well,
and it's not like I'm jealous. I love this woman. This is my woman. Yeah, I don't want anyone touching her. Hand on the back? Hell no, no.
All right,
but, uh,
Elise.
I,
Can you hear us? Can you guys
Yeah.
hear us?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Earl,
if I,
what's your point of view of people
What?
touching you?
Oh, oh,
well, I don't play the touchy feely because I am possessive, like my brother say here. I love this woman, and a touch can mean a lot. Okay, my wife has seen me act up. I confronted her right away. I was like, "Oh, you just gonna flirt right in front of my face, right here now? I don't have no problem with that. We got to get this straight right now."
We're gonna go on mute.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. All right. Hold on 1 second. All right, go ahead, Crawford. Then talk to me.
Well, so here's the thing about touching. What we all know that there's power in the point of contact of touching. Touching sends a clear message, and so I think we don't realize as men or as women, men more particularly, that when you are making contact with someone, you are building a connection with that person. And I think we have to just be careful as men that we don't relinquish that connection just to anybody. And that's what happens. And so I had to learn, and even to this day, I have to know my own triggers. I know that that's a tendency of mine, right? And so, and that's the beautiful thing, like what Eddie was saying. When you love your wife, that will make you check yourself even when they're not around. And I guess that's where I had to grow in my relationship, is knowing that it's not about not touching someone when she's there, but what about when she's not there? Are you going to be like, okay, free, she's not here, so I can touch on these women? I'm not having any kind of intimacy or sex, so I can touch them, right? No, you have so, and that's where. And the thing about it is, here's the last part I was going to say, because if you don't, it's going to come out. Right? Just like we see like bad kids and they act about in the street, and we say that's how they must be at home. So even as in a relationship, I have to learn to stay disciplined and to know that it's not about just appeasing my wife, but really everything I do it unto God, right? And so when you get to that level, it makes it easier to not look at it as a bunch of things you can't do, but what you don't want to do to your spouse. And so you don't know them, they don't say it. And so that's when I had to learn to if I got to put my hands behind my back, whatever I got to do. Look, even taking a picture, I'll be the first person to get next to somebody and hug them. Now I gotta remember, be mindful. No, you don't need to hug. Just
Mhm.
Yes.
right.
Yep.
I
Yep.
love that. I love being
Yeah.
mindful. I love that. I love that. And
Yep.
we've also had the conversation because women are intentional. Right, men are too, but women are sneaky with theirs, right? And it's so funny because women find those men who, like Jason, like Marlon, like all of you guys actually, who listen to women, who are understanding, who are compassionate, who love their wives, so that you have something, you're that unicorn, and they can see it just like we can see it, right? And so they find themselves talking to you about things that are intimate to them. And I had to tell Jason that you got to be careful with that.
Right.
Oh, well, she was just expressing her feelings about whatever.
Mm-mm.
No.
People tell you something for a reason.
And
When
they want
people
to see how far
talk, they tell you something for a reason. Yep.
and not, but if someone's telling you something intimate about them, whether it's them and their man, their husband, their children, whatever it is, by you listening, and you're building a connection there. You're building a connection.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You have to be mindful of that because you are building a relationship. And I think it's like a turning point in a relationship when, like Tina, when you said you brought that up to Jason, or like with Christina, when you said it as well, it's a turning point when your husband starts to hear that for what you're saying and realize it's not you, you're not jealous, it's not
Exactly.
Mm-mm.
about let me
Yeah,
just
you
kind
jealous.
of
You just
school
jealous.
you,
Ah!
or
Mhm.
let me school you.
Mm-mm.
Women are playing on you and you don't even see it coming. That's what it is.
Right.
And you know
And
what?
wait. And then to add to that, definitely, Lisa, I agree. I think, another thing that he used to do was, it's just, innocently, very good friends of ours, people we know for a long time, he'll hug them and then give them a kiss on the cheek, right? And
Mhm.
I'm like, don't do that.
Mhm.
Don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Hey, but
know?
you know what? It's two things I learned from. I mean, I learned a lot of things in our marriage, but it's two things. One, there are hungry women out there. You
Say
can
it
see it on
again.
TV.
Say it again,
You
bro.
can see it
Say
on the
it again.
news. You
Yeah.
can see it, Judge Mathis. You just see them starving for men, and then they date these men. You're like, wow, him. So I know, you go crazy over me. These women are yeah. There's some hungry women out there. You learned that from a marriage. So that's why you can't trust any of them, right? The second thing I learned was, just knowing that it's like wolves out there. You don't want to be associated with these wolves. It's ugly. When you sit back in your marriage, you look outside the glass. It's an ugly world out there, man. People cheating on each other. People is not happy. People just miserable, and they want to break up homes and be someone who doesn't want to be with someone happy, and they think that's you.
Right.
And that's what I've learned. That's what I've learned. People look at other people's marriage and say, "Wow, you're a great dad. You're a great husband. You're a great father. You're all those great things and the man that I want." But what other people don't realize is that it's the marriage together that makes each half the whole. You know what I'm saying? It's like he is the man he is because of me. I am the woman I am because of him, right?
Right.
So it's because if I was nasty and mean, I'm guaranteed we wouldn't have a very good marriage.
Right.
So people bring out the best of each other, and so that their relationship shows it. And so women want that, and as you said, they're hungry, so they want to try to get what you have, and so it just creates this like, I'm not jealous. I'm trying to let you know what women are thinking, right? They want what I have, but what they don't realize is that you can be with another woman and not have the same thing. So, but we have to be mindful when we are, we have to be very mindful when we are listening to other people's problems and why they are expressing it, and why are they constantly that person that I need to talk to, or why is she always calling you, or why, so we have to be very mindful, especially men, because I think it's an ego thing. We like the ego, the attention, and we want to be able to give it, but at the same time, the woman who's receiving it is not thinking the same thing you are.
Let me give you one example. We was at a party one time, right? One of my job parties, right? And I had a good friend. He's a white guy, good young guy, white guy, but he don't know the rules about marriage and relationships, right?
Right.
So
I remember
To write a
this.
rule book we can pass out.
yeah, because
Oh,
people
yes.
don't know, right? So he meets my wife, and he shakes her hand, but he looks at her. He looked at her more than 5 seconds, and I'm like, yo, Joe,
Oh, no, he was holding.
he was holding your hand.
Yeah.
Because he just met her, and he shakes her hand because he respects me a lot. So I don't think he mean any harm, but he don't know the do's or don'ts of my relationship.
Right.
And he told him, I'm like, yo, bro, what you doing? 5-second rule, man. Like, he said, oh, I didn't know. And he's looking at him. I'm like, yo, bro, like, you my man. I know you don't mean no harm, but don't let me put some hands on you, guys. You got to understand these rules, man. Right? Like, you got to understand these rules.
Okay, you can let her hand go.
You can let her hand go now, man. Like,
and the thing, Eddie, as you know, it was intentional. It was intentional.
nah. My man Joe, I can't say that. But I can understand.
People are thinking,
but I can't say that.
What they're feeling and they're thinking is coming out in their actions. I don't care if they're your man or not. They're gonna try it. Men are hungry just like women are hungry. And if he sees the opportunity, if she had have given him a sign of opportunity,
There you go.
the thing is that that's what people look for. They're looking for like you said, they're looking for the opportunity. So go ahead. I don't want to talk, but what were you saying, Marlon?
No, I was.
Wait.
Hey,
I'm laughing at the comments. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, me too.
let me talk about opportunity. So we have
Hold on 1 second for me, Marlon. Hey,
Yep.
Lauren, can you put your camera on? I want to make sure you're ready to come on. All right, there we go. All right, let me get Lauren in here right
And
quick.
can she fit in there too?
Yep, she can fit in there. Everybody gonna fit in there. All right,
All
if I
right.
can have you to turn your phone sideways for me, Lauren. All right, cool.
Oh.
All right, go ahead, Marlon. Nope. Yeah.
say, speaking of etiquette, like Eddie was talking about, people know what they can and they should know what they can and cannot do, but
make a
they will
difference.
only do what you allow them to do, and they
Okay.
always are
Oh,
going to
she got
try.
it. Oh,
So
she's taking the thing.
we have a couple that we hang out with, and we go on
She got her phone
trips,
on loud.
and the guy, he has a tendency to walk around with no shirt on, whatever. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And his thought is, this is my house, this is my room. I'm like, dude, but this is my wife, and you're not gonna walk around in front of my wife not dressed properly. And he thought that I was, being insecure. I'm like, dude, I'm not arguing with you, and if you can't respect what I'm saying, then we'll just leave. But I had to set the boundary with him because, what Eddie, some people either don't know or they, again, what I believe is like you were saying, Tina, they know absolutely what they're doing. And if my wife were to allow him, give some more signs, he'd do more.
Mm-hmm.
People want to take what you got.
Yeah.
All the time. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I tell them. I
if
tell
you
them
let
5 seconds, man.
yeah.
What are you doing, bro? Like, this is no good, man. I don't want to put hands on you. So you got to understand, man.
And it's just how often do we hear of people who have let someone stay with them, and then to hear that they've had relations? Because I have stayed over relatives' house, but I make sure that I am dressed appropriately. Whatever I wear at home in my bed, I'm not going to be wearing at my neighbors. Regardless. Oh well, no. And so I feel as though same thing. And nowadays, women, they don't even need to. I don't even. Okay, anyway. That's another story. So
About to go down a rabbit hole.
yeah. So we just have to be very careful as to what people may say. Stuff like, "Oh, well, that's a beautiful dress," or "Wow, you really look good in that," but it's the what do you do
Really
after that?
The underlying meaning
Right,
behind that.
or how do I take it and people are looking for their opportunity to get in. So if a man tells me, "Wow, you really look good," and I flirt back with him, what is that saying?
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we have to be extremely mindful of what the rules of marriage are for each one of us. It's not just one person or the other being mindful, because it happens to all of us. Right? Men hit on women, women hit on men. It's all the same thing. So as we continue this conversation, the next hashtag is going to be #podcast.
Yep.
#podcast. You guys got it? Hashtag, start putting that in the chat. #podcast. And that is for a Love and Beyond the I Do podcast shirt. So we are celebrating our 100th episode. And just to give a little bit of background, Jason and I started this endeavor after we, became head over the Married Couples Club at our church. And it was just something that God spoke to us about. And we didn't know where it was going or what it was going to do. But I just want to say we have met so many wonderful people. We have enlarged our circle way beyond what we could have ever imagined. And we have built so many great relationships. And Christina and Eddie are one of them. And, so this podcast has really been able not only to help us, but it has also impacted a lot of marriages. We get a lot of DMs and a lot of emails about what we're putting out and the impact it has had on their marriage. And so our purpose here is to create an environment where we can talk about the hard topics of marriage, because we didn't talk about them. We don't talk about them. Our parents didn't talk about them. And if we've never been married, we don't know about them, right? We go into these fantasy worlds about what we think marriage is, and then we get into it and we go, well, wait a minute. What am I supposed to do now? And part of it is that we think that marriage is about being ourselves. This is who I am. I'm not going to change myself for anyone. Marriage is not about changing who you are. It's about understanding that the person you have married is just as important and valued in a relationship as I consider myself. So I have to consider his feelings, what he values, as much as I regard my own. And I think that's where we fall short in marriages. It's like, well, I've always done this, and why do I need to change? The point is that when I make a decision, I need to make sure that you're on board with the decision as well as I'm on board with the decision. Not that I'm just going to do it whether you like it or not. Okay, Jason, you want to introduce Lauren, or you want me
Yeah,
to?
well, Lauren, you can go ahead and pop your camera on. Don't worry about if it won't.
Thank you, Blue Sky. Facts. There
Yeah.
you go. I don't know which part of it was facts, but all of it was facts.
Yeah.
All right.
Whatever you were saying at the time, you was on that soapbox, baby.
All right.
That's
So
what that
make
was.
sure everybody type in hashtag podcast, hashtag podcast, hashtag podcast, hashtag podcast. All right. So Lauren, are you with us? Lauren?
Yes, yes, I'm here.
All right, go ahead and turn your camera on.
I'm so sorry. I was trying to figure it out.
I saw you went to Ty. I got
Yeah.
you. Don't worry about it.
So
Just go.
I think I was telling you,
It
I
must
think
be
your
locked, but
phone
don't
is
worry
on
about
lock. Rotate. Is it on rotate?
Yeah,
Rotate lock.
see, he was working on it for me.
Don't worry
But he
about it.
said, cause see, I don't see like the rotate button.
You got to.
Yeah,
Do you have an Apple?
it's
Do
probably
you have
gonna
an
be.
Apple?
Well, see, that's the thing. I tried logging in on my computer. I'm on my cell phone.
And
Okay,
it's your
no.
cell phone.
But you know what? You got an Apple, don't you? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. You got to log in on Chrome because you can't log in on Safari is not supported. But
Okay,
no
that's all right.
worries.
No worries. Don't worry about it.
So I do want to talk about again. Lauren and Tyshawn was on early on in this endeavor. It was episode number 19 and 20 that you guys were on.
Lauren can talk.
Lauren can talk. And we did probably about a 3-hour podcast, and I broke it up into 2 episodes.
Right, so working the marriage plan. Yeah, it was a great episode, and Lauren's here to talk about. She had the fairy tale marriage, right? So, but we're not going to talk about that, Lauren, right? So, if you want to, real quick, tell them how you got proposed to, how you got married. But what we're here to talk about is the idea, like we talk about the idea of marriage.
Well, I
Your
want to talk about one
ideal
thing.
you had.
Okay, go ahead.
The ideal you had because you got pregnant, and the ideas you had, right? Your very first baby, I'm gonna have this huge baby shower. I'm gonna do this, and then the pandemic hit. So
Right.
just tell us, right? And just tell us, walk us through the stresses and the what you and your husband had to go through to kind of get the right mindset.
right. Okay, so yes, so Ty and I met back in 2008. As a matter of fact, we met in 2008 at the Taste of Chicago. And then in 2009, we became girlfriend and boyfriend. And it's really been history ever since then. I've known him for 13 years. We've been together for 12 years. And coming up this August, on August 25th, we'll be married for 5 years. And
Wonderful.
thank you. And he proposed to me in Disney World in front of Cinderella's castle. He knew that as a child, I went to Disney World 7 years in a row. So he knew that Disney, like, my spirit, my heart. I'm a really kind-hearted person, especially with me always working with the children and everything. So thank you so much. So he proposed there, and it was really special. And we had like this Disney themed wedding. He was Prince Charming, and I was Cinderella. And it was really special because we did it at the Odyssey. So a lot of our family and friends got to come. So it was really special. And then Speed Pass, we got pregnant in 2019. October 2019, and then the pandemic hit in March of 2020. And like Miss Tina was saying, we were pretty much wow. My family was at every doctor appointment. This was the first baby in our family in over 20 years. So yes, and so we were due for a baby, and so mom and dad. Because they were putting pressure, because it goes my older sister. First of all, I'm an only child, but I call my cousins my siblings because we grew up, so close. Yeah. So my older sister cousin, it go Ashley first, then me, then Brittany, and then little Brandon. And so when we were coming up, pretty much in the pandemic. Like, I mean, before that, all of them were coming to the doctor's appointments. Like I was saying, like my aunties, I mean, everybody was in the doctor appointments because everybody. And then all of a sudden, March 2020, the pandemic hit, and wow. I mean, wow. It changed, the whole experience. I mean, here we were planning this big gender reveal, this big baby shower. I was planning on talking about who I was gonna have in the hospital room with me. I knew that was a big thing. Like who you gonna have in the room with you.
Right.
So
Yes.
I mean, wow, it changed everything. So how we were able to stay in good spirits, because at first it was devastating. I was devastated. This is my first baby. Like, I mean, this the
Mm-hmm.
type of stuff you talk about as a little girl, like when you combing your baby down, you talk about, one day when you gonna have your own baby and you gonna have your own family. So to get a different experience, I was just like, darn, this isn't what I was picturing. But my
And you pretty much felt like this isn't fair. Did you feel
right,
that way?
I was like, darn, this isn't fair. Like I was like, this is my first baby. Like, I'm like, what am I gonna do? But my sister, my younger sister, she was like, leave it to her, man. She'll come through. And she created this entire organization called Pure Bliss. And she started doing events like decorating. And I didn't even know I mean, I knew she was talented, but I didn't know that she was this talented. She was just like I said, I really am blessed. I got a really, really great support system and village. And like I said, I guess because this was the first baby in over 20 years, I guess the family must have got together on a Zoom call or something, like, we gonna make this we gonna make this special. So I guess you know how Kevin Hart be like, you gonna learn today. Oh, I learned real quick that my sister wasn't playing about that God mom spot. Okay.
Okay.
So she stepped up. Okay. I guess she was like, let me go ahead and put my resume in. Because I'm not only am I gonna be that baby TT, I'm gonna be that baby godmom. So lo and behold, she made our gender reveal and our baby shower. Wow. I mean, with the decorations, her setting up the Zoom, her hiring a videographer and a photographer. I mean, she took the whole virtual experience to the next level, because I had
Mhm.
no idea you could even do all the stuff that she planned. So I would say this: if it wasn't for my sister, I'd probably be sitting here, like, darn, I felt like I was robbed. But
Mhm.
because of my sister coming up with the whole drive-through with the baby shower and family members in the back, and the whole little virtual experience, but she saved the day. She
Okay.
she 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 the real MVP. She the real MVP.
So during that time of pregnancy and the pandemic, what were you thinking? And how was your husband part of your support system? Because it had to be scary.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely was a scary process, because like you said, even though looking back, I'm going back to how my sister, created that magical experience for us. It still made a difference, because in my experience, because in the beginning, like I was saying, I had all my family coming to my doctor's appointments, and then it went from me having my family to it just being me. And
Yeah.
I think what was devastating is, it was one thing, for you guys to say I couldn't have my parents and like my family come in, but I can't even have my husband.
Yeah.
That way,
Yeah.
and now wait a minute. And it was a rough transition, because I'm not a girl that takes no for an answer. I'm a Capricorn, so I'm very ambitious. I'm a go-getter. I'm a fighter. You tell me no. You tell me I can't come through the front door. I'm going to the back door. You tell me I can't come through the back door. I'm gonna figure out how to get through that side window. That's what kind of personality. So when they told me my husband couldn't come in the room, I'm like, now wait, now y'all don't know El Woo, okay? But but you know, this is why I say I was so proud of myself, because I had such a hard time accepting it. But then once I realized, like, I was strong enough to do it. I was,
Hmm.
you know, many are called, but only few are chosen, and you are the chosen one. And to whom much is given, much is required. So I started realizing, like, you know what? Let me take me out of it and realize that God would never give me more than I can handle. And so maybe He's using me. Maybe He's using me for this to be a greater testimony down the line. So once I took myself out of it and realized the greater purpose, I think then my mentality was able to shift, because I still was I still was looking at it as I might not have my husband here physically, but me and my baby, now this is a mother and son experience that I could really worship and cherish. And so then I started documenting. I think they call it vlogging.
Okay. Yep.
I started vlogging my experience, and people, they started tuning in, and I opened up about how I have a fibroid, and black women started reaching out like, oh my God, I have a fibroid too. And so it opened up this world to me that I wasn't even intentionally trying to do this, but so many women could relate to what I was going through. And it ended up being a blessing, not just for me, but for them as well.
Yeah,
That's
and I
wonderful. That's
remember
wonderful.
on the day of the recording, we recorded on the Saturday, and you were saying that you were being strong, but it
Yeah.
was getting to be too much, and you had broke down earlier that morning,
Mm.
and Ty was there with you, and he said, no
Yeah.
matter what it is gonna be, it's gonna be a darn good party. We gonna
Yeah.
do everything we're supposed to. The baby gonna come here. It's gonna be loved and everything else. It's
Mm.
gonna be okay. And you just kind of had to relinquish that because you are very strong and you are very out there and you want to make things happen. And I remember that very well. And I was like, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna get through this and it's gonna be fine. Now you didn't had your prince. Life is good now.
All right.
Yeah, that
But
was
but
fun.
again, it goes back to what can I do at that time and point when my spouse needs me, right? How can I be that support system for her when, and I always say the best thing about marriage is that I'm his strength where he's weak,
Hmm.
and he's my strength where I'm weak. That's what helped marriages get to the next level. All right, guys, let's give away this next podcast. All right, podcast t-shirt, we ready?
Yeah, I think everybody's in there.
Everybody's in. Everybody's in. You better get it in. Get it in. Got to be. Oh, so Lauren, if you're on your, I don't know if she can do it. Can she do it on her phone?
She would have to probably come out of the feed and
Oh,
then
okay. So we're giving away things, and you would have to do on the
on the app.
on the little comment you do hashtag podcast. But unfortunately, can't do it. Okay, so sorry.
Can I say one more thing too?
Sure.
I thank you so much for bringing up that day that I was emotional, because that day me and my mom, that was just, I mean, if it could have been recorded, that day, like you said, I had to choose, because again, I couldn't have like everybody in the hospital room. So I could only have my husband in the hospital room. And of course, with this being my first baby, who doesn't imagine their mom, and their spouse, being by their side, and their dad, I mean, I knew who I wanted in the room, but they said you could only have one person. So, my mom, like you said, it's like she transferred her energy into me, and I just felt, I was so emotional. I was breaking down crying, just like you said, because I'm like, I can't do this without you. You supposed to be in the room with me. I always pictured you being there. And she was like, you are me. She was like, you my strength, she was like, I'm so proud of you to even be in this moment with you, because actually my due date wasn't until July 15th. My due date got pushed up all the way to June 26th, because on the last day of my doctor's appointment, they were hinting at preeclampsia. And so that's why they were like, you know what, we don't even want you to go home, because they didn't want anything to happen to me or the baby. So that's why they admitted me the same day. And my husband, like you said, because when we were in the room, I was still nervous, and I'm just like questioning, like, can I do this? Like, my mom is not physically here, my dad ain't here. Can I really do this? And he reassured me that I could do it. We prayed together. He poured into me. He reminded me of all the challenges we had gone through, but we were still standing. You know, like the pandemic should have took the wind out of us. The fibroids should have took the wind out of us. They said Thailand wasn't getting all the nutrients. It was so many things. They said that they were concerned about his neck and his breathing, all these crazy things that they were telling us during our pregnancy. And he reminded me that we made it. We made it to the finish line. And that's why our son's nickname is Prince Thailand and Champ. And I call him Champy Champ too, because he's a champion. And I was reminded of that the day that I delivered, that I was a champion, and that came from my husband. So I said all of that to say that now tomorrow we're celebrating our 1 year anniversary in our home, because during the pandemic we became homeowners.
All right. You're
So
doing it.
thank you. So at first it seemed like when you be going through the storm, you can't always see the light at the end of the tunnel. But then once you start maneuvering through and you start getting through and you get to the finish line, it is like, wow. You do that big, you throw your arms up, your hands, you like, I made it. Because so many times you could have threw in the towel, but you made it to the finish line because you were walking by faith and not by sight.
All right, all
Amen,
right. So let's
amen.
give away this shirt, and then we're gonna come back and get one last gem from everybody. So think about what gem you're gonna drop. We want one last gem. If there's some advice that you have learned to be so valuable in your marriage, I'm talking about. I'm not talking about some surface stuff. I'm talking about some deep under things. People, you go, wow, like. This has really made a difference. So take a minute. So take a minute to think about, give us something substantial that has really, that you either learned or really made a difference in your marriage.
All right, guys. Good luck. What
All
are we
right,
doing
good luck,
here?
everyone. Good luck, everyone. We're
we
doing
are
the
doing-
podcast
We're
shirt.
doing the shirt. All right. So good luck to everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Yes,
It's
thank you
been
so
fun.
much. Yes. We like to talk. Sorry, we like to talk. Hold on there, Lauren. All right, everybody,
Go ahead.
Don't leave. Hold on, everybody. Oh no.
No, she's saying something. What are you saying, Lauren?
No, she was saying, oh.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Everybody got the drawings in? All right.
Lauren, I hope you're thinking too. Think about that gem you're going to drop for everybody.
All right, here we go. Good
Let's
luck.
see, Lisa, if it's this time.
Okay. Oh.
Woo!
Somebody got favor.
Lisa,
Somebody has favor.
All right.
Somebody has favor.
All right, so we're gonna have everybody start typing in now, and you can type it in more than once. So our last thing?
What is it?
No, we have the toy.
I didn't put it up.
That's all right. You didn't do the thing.
I didn't do it. Nope.
So there's no way to do the drawing.
Nope. Can't do the drawing. Can't do it.
What can you do while we're talking?
Maybe. I can work on it.
All right. So as we doing these gyms, Jason's gonna work on the last challenge, and so we're gonna do it hashtag the toy.
Okay, cool.
All right. So it's gonna be hashtag the toy. So you can put it in as many times as you need. And what it is, it's a sex toy. All right. So the toy. So we had a sex couple come on.
But don't put it in now.
Okay.
Don't put it now?
Not
All
yet.
right, not yet. All right. So let's start with Christina and Eddie first. You guys ready? We're gonna go around and get everybody. So Jason, can you solo Christina and Eddie?
Hey, before we go, hey, we had a Disney
Fairy
fairy tale wedding too.
Yeah.
We did on Christmas.
We had a
Christmas
vow
Eve.
renewal at our 20th wedding anniversary vow renewal at Disney World at the Grand
Wonderful.
Floridian Resort. Yep.
Oh
Yep.
Wow.
That's my dream. When you get to that level, well, first of all, congratulations to the both of you all. And I already know that was beautiful. And 20 years, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our third time
We're
getting married.
22 years now. But yeah, it was right before the pandemic. It was December 23rd, 2019.
Yep.
Yep.
And my birthday is December 25th. 2 days.
Oh, Christmas. That's my favorite holiday.
That's our favorite holiday.
That's
It's
my
Christmas.
favorite holiday. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got engaged on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
So
Oh my God.
yeah.
Look at all the commonalities. All right.
Yeah.
The
All right, so-
similarities.
So
you
All
the,
right.
give them the
the
gem.
most important thing I would say is keep your business to yourself and your household. If you having a problem with your spouse, keep it indoors. Don't let everyone know about it because it's going to spread like wildfire. And when it spread like wildfire, someone going to add to it. It's going to be bigger than it should have been.
Yeah, they may blow it out of proportion. Let's say it's just like a small argument that you guys had or disagreement. Try to work it out within yourself, especially in those early years when you're still trying to figure each other out and your families are still trying to figure you guys out. You don't want them to kind of like make each other the bad guy, right? So because sometimes families don't forget, right, when you had those arguments. So we always say, if you're having an issue, work it out within your marriage and don't tell your girlfriend or your best friend, your sister, or whatever, because sometimes it just can explode, and we've seen that happen.
We've seen it. We learned the first year, and that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. So we became each other best friends, and we don't cut out our external best friends, but we understand that there's nothing that she got to go through that I don't know, or I go through she don't know. So keep your business to yourself, keep it in the house, and work it out.
Yeah,
tough it out.
Yep, tough it out, and you'll get through it. You'll get through it. Yep, it makes you stronger.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go. Christina, was that yours or was that just Eddie's?
I think that's both of ours.
Yeah. We learned that the first year. We learned it the hard way.
That's definitely a collective. That's one of the biggest gems that we tell new couples. Yeah.
Keep your business to yourself. If you got to talk to somebody, go talk in the closet to God, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Do something, but tough it out, baby. Tough it out.
Tough it out together.
All right. So Lisa and Marlon, you guys are up next.
All right. So I think collectively we would say trust each other, and trust in each other. And if you know that this is the person that's for you, it's easier said than done, but really you giving into just trusting them and trusting God, and getting outside of your comfort zone, or if maybe not always your way, but learning to just really lean on each other and trust each other, and just understand that when a marriage comes together, it's an opportunity for you to do something that neither one of you all could do separately. So it's not his agenda or her agenda. It's about, going to whole new levels that only you can do together. It's some plans that God has for you that can't do apart. And when you really lean in and trust each other, then you'll see it happen. And it's like amazing, because you couldn't have never planned that for yourself. But together you're like accomplishing all kinds of things. And it just really, the foundation is the trust of each other.
Wow, that's amazing.
And just that last piece, like the scripture says, we wrestle not against flesh and blood. So we've learned not to fight against each other, but we fight for each other, not against each other.
Amen.
Oh, that's heavy right there, fighting for each other. That's what I'm talking about.
All right. Mr. Control Man is all right.
Yeah, I'm tripping. I'm like doing five different things here.
Angela and Earl, you guys are up next.
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, I would say it's a little noisy in the restaurant, but I would say my tidbit of advice is let go. Try anything once. Just go for it.
I say to be open and be receptive to your mate. Y'all might think I'm a little harsh with this, but I always told my wife that this marriage, you die out, you don't walk away. You don't say I have enough and gone. No.
I don't know if you guys.
I don't know if you guys heard that,
but he said in their marriage,
He literally took this till death do us part serious.
and you should.
I just need her to understand where I'm coming from towards this marriage and her.
All right. So Angela is not getting out alive. All right.
They stand with this thing to the end.
That's
right.
For sure. Earl said there is no walking out. If you
Blink,
out,
Angela, blink.
right. Blink if you need help. Right. There you go.
Yeah, send up a flare or something.
That's right. All right. So Lauren, our last guest for tonight, give us something you have learned. I think you may be the least. Yeah.
Yep,
so
the youngest.
Angie,
Yep, and
Angie and Earl, 30 years. No, Lisa and Marlon, how long have you guys been married?
10.
Just 10.
10. Just 10. Okay.
10,
So
yeah.
we got 5, 10, 20, and 30. Wow.
22.
All right.
22.
22.
Oh,
22.
22.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, get them 2 years, girl. That's,
That's
right.
right. That's
Don't cheat
right.
me.
That's
Yeah.
right. It make a difference.
You
'Cause
get a
some
lot
people,
accomplished in that 2 years.
some people don't make it 2 years. That's
That's right.
right. So
Mhm.
5, 10, 22, and 30. All right. So let's go, Lauren. What's your tip?
Jason,
What's that?
how long have you been married?
31.
31. Thank you. Yeah.
31. Actually, it'll be 31 in a couple of weeks.
Yep,
June
June
next
1st.
month, June 1st.
June
June
1st.
1st, it'll be 31 years.
Yeah.
Okay, 11 years. Well, don't
He got me when I was just 10.
Young. I got it before
Yeah.
she knew anything.
Yep.
Baby,
All right, Laura, so give us your Huh?
He got me when I was 10 also.
I heard that. That's right. All right. So Laura, what from seeing that you're 5 years in, what have you learned that maybe you didn't think of before, like that you've learned that has really made an impact in your marriage that you can share with other people?
Yes, and right. Let me get technical too. It's 4 years, but it'll be 5 years in August 25th. But what I have learned, I'll just go with our motto. Ty and I, we call it the 3 F's, and it's faith. It's faith, friendship, friendship, and fun. And then when we do it in fours, it's faith, friendship, family, and fun. So we got 2 of them, but I'll stick to the simpler one, the 3. But we start off with faith because we always say keep God first. So it's really important to make sure that you have a relationship with your Lord and Savior, but also being equally yoked so that you're the third strand. And we really took that seriously when we brought that up on our wedding day with our vows. So that's why we always start with faith, because even when we don't understand, we're always willing to pray. So even if we are not on the same page and we disconnected and we upset about something, or we are happy, or whatever the emotion is, we'll always still come together and say, give me your hands, let's pray. And that always is a thing for us that brings us back together, because faith is a part of our foundation. And it was really important for us to establish that. And the second one is friendship. It's a part of our foundation too, because as Eddie has said earlier, Ty is really my best friend. We were friends first. That's why when we met in 2008, we were friends for a year, almost a year and a half, as a matter of fact, but really a year. We were friends first. And then in 2009, we became boyfriend and girlfriend. So we really took our time getting to know one another, even with becoming intimate. We took our time with that. So friendship was really important to us. And that's why to this day, friendship has really been one of the number one things that's held us together, because we believe in spending quality time together. And then with the fun part, we have fun. We still like to travel. We still like to read a good book together. We still like when we put the baby down tonight. Like I said, tomorrow is the 1-year anniversary at our home. So tonight we already got our little agenda mapped out. He got his beer. I got my wine. We got the game on. So we have we got the Uno cards. So we still have a good time. We just still have a good time. So if I could sum it up, what I've learned is just in these 4 years of being married, coming up on 5, faith, friendship, and fun. I say with those 3 things, you can't go wrong. You can't go
All
wrong.
right.
You 100% correct.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful. I'm going to thank you guys, each and every one of you. We truly appreciate it for coming in and helping us celebrate our 100th episode.
Thank you so much.
Yes. It I can't even say it's been a labor of love, because it's just been it's been a wonderful ride, right?
Yeah,
it's been wonderful.
It has.
Angie and Earl were some of our rookies, along with Lisa and Marlon. They were our guinea pigs.
Yeah, that was our first road show when we went over there.
Yeah.
Like we took it on the road for the first time.
So we've come a long way, and we've talked to so many peoples, but we thank you guys for coming on and sharing this time with us and helping us celebrate this episode. And we know that it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And we hope that you guys will continue to enjoy this ride with us. And so we just thank each and every one of you guys for saying yes. And actually, Lauren, she jumped in at the last minute because our initial guest, she got some airplane mess ups, and Lauren accidentally didn't get her email.
Yep.
And so, but she's like, hey, I was like, Lauren, what happened? She was like, I don't know. So she jumped on at the last minute. So we thank each and every one of you guys for taking this time out. We bless your marriages, we bless you, and we thank you so much. And so we have a comment. What does it say?
This Lava the Poet, note to self. She got a whole bunch of hats.
Disney wedding, keep your business to yourself, trust your spouse. I can't even what's say our agenda.
Mm-hmm.
Fight for each other. Is that what it says?
Yep. Go for it.
My girlfriend, Lanice, always say, Tina, why you don't never have your glasses on when you're trying to read?
Always trying to read.
I can half see it, but I don't want to mess up words. All right. So thank you, Lava the Poet. She got a lot of that, which means she got a lot of gems for her next marriage. So she like, I'm ready. All right. So everybody, are we ready, Jason? This is our last and final. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. So this is our last and final giveaway.
Can I listen? I think I might want to put in for this
Put
one.
it in, baby. Put it in, baby.
Yeah.
We may get it. Come on.
Yeah. Because, you know what I'm saying? I need a little something here.
So you got to give me a minute. How do I get in?
Yep. Just going on to Facebook and then just
go out to Facebook.
Yep.
All right, y'all got to give me a chance to enter my own thing.
Yep.
Woo, baby. So this is type in the toy.
Yep.
The toy. And it is guaranteed to improve your marriage. Money back guarantee. It is the safest. It is, and so we had them on. They were episode number.
It was just recently.
Episode like 96, 97, maybe 97. Yeah, 96 or 97. They came on. They talked. We had the Friday Night Live. It was
and
a lot of
demonstration. So they
What
talked a lot.
well, they didn't do a
Well,
demonstration.
they didn't do really. Well, they did demonstrate, but they didn't
talked about-
demonstrate. Come on, Eddie. Come on.
What you say, Marlon?
I said, you said demonstration.
Exactly.
Right. Well, they just modeled the toys.
They talked about a lot of the products that they sell. They talked about how you guys can get them. And what was the link, Jason? What?
It's
we supposed to have our code on tonight.
Yeah, it's legendaryrelationship.com.
Baby, how do I go on?
Yep, you just go to your page.
I'm on my page.
I don't know. You know, your stuff is kind of slow.
I'm about to say, yeah, some wild shows back then, man.
No,
This
is a new one.
massages and all this
This is a
recent.
new
Oh,
show.
well,
Yeah, this is recent.
I don't know,
But you know
guys.
what? We just, you know what? It was a healthy conversation. It's because we keep that thing, quiet. Like, you're a nasty person if you use it. No, I'm not. This is what's going on in my marriage, and it's okay. To use them. We all use them, but then we're like, no, we don't do them.
Well, we don't. What we were
We
saying.
don't all use them. Ain't nothing wrong with it. We just haven't got to that point yet.
And you know what, Eddie?
Yeah.
You need to watch that show because it was a if not the Friday Night Live, we talk about that, the stigma behind it, and just we don't want. The point is that if it's out there, if we do it the right way with each other, it's nothing. And if we're doing it, if both of us agree, then it's something that if it can enhance our marriage, then we should do it. If it's not going to enhance your marriage, then don't do it.
That's why I say a marriage is like a fingerprint. Everyone got a finger, but every fingerprint is different. So what works in someone's marriage may not work in my marriage. What works in someone else's marriage. So it's the same thing. So I don't knock it. I just say we didn't get to that point yet.
So put your name in, Eddie. Put your name in.
I put it in.
She put it in.
You can put it in, but you can put it in more than once. So everybody keep typing it in. Type it in as many times as you can. Let's get it out there. This is the last drum roll. Type in hashtag.
Oh yeah, I got you in there, baby. You got it in there.
Does it come with instructions?
Yeah.
Yes.
It does.
Yes.
And
I don't want to put it in the wrong place.
Trust me.
Hey, you know what? I said that on the Friday Night Live. Like, where do you put this thing?
It looked like the remote control though.
Exactly.
So nobody even know if it fall out the drawer.
Right.
They'll never know.
Yeah, it was very. Hey, listen, I learned a lot a couple of Fridays ago. Yeah.
It was a very fun conversation, but the reason why they decided to do that.
Now you're gonna start getting feedback because you're in the feed.
I was actually, but the reason why they did is because she had endometriosis and intercourse was kind of painful for her, so they sought other opportunities or other avenues, I should say. And so it's just
if you want to get.
Sometimes, if you want to spice it, what you do in your bedroom is your business. But if you want to spice it up,
So I got this nice recommendation from. I got to give a shout out to the Dylans. Dylan said, you put all these different things up on the screen, and we can't really keep up with what's going on. Can you just find one place where you can have all of your resources? So I said, okay, cool. He said, maybe you create a QR code. I was like, man, that's ingenious. I mean, I'm in IT, and I didn't think of that. So I said, okay, fine. So I just created the QR code, so you can get all of the ways to get in contact with us, the podcast, the website, everything.
so for you guys who were there, you can if they're on their phone, they can't scan it on their phone.
No, I know. They can catch them on
But
the replay, though.
That's right, replay. That's the QR code. You guys can find it. We got it somewhere right there doing the QR code. Let's see if it works.
Yeah, I should bring up. It's gonna bring up all of our resources and stuff. So
Lisa, were you able to do it?
I couldn't, but Marlon's gonna try with his. He has the latest.
He got the latest
Yeah.
without getting you one?
Yep, he got it. He got the 13.
I can't believe it, Lisa. He got the latest without getting you one?
wow.
There you go.
Well,
Normally he gets two. All right, so everybody got it in. Let's go.
Yep.
Drum roll. All right, let's go. Good luck to everyone out there. For those who need it, let's hope Christina and Eddie gets it so they can come back and tell us how well it worked. All right.
All right, here we go.
Come on.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Winner, winner, winner. Winner, chicken dinner.
Sarah! I thought it said Christina. It almost said Christina. Sierra! All right.
Very good. Good luck. Very good.
Villarura.
Belarus.
Yeah. All right.
Excellent. Congratulations.
Congratulations to all of our winners tonight. You please go to, if you didn't do the QR code, you have to go to send us your name, your address, and for the shirt, your size to info@legendaryrelationship.com. So info@legendaryrelationship.com to claim all of your prizes. So we had Marka Donaldson, Lava the Poet twice, and then Sierra. All right, so you guys email info@legendaryrelationship for the shirt size. Make sure you give us the shirt size, your name, and your address so that we can get all your things shipped out to you. And let's
Hey, if you read these books in the back of you, you won't need a toy.
I heard that. Talk to him, Eddie.
All right.
You said the book, right?
The book.
Right.
Yeah, I said two winners. I just said we had Marka, Lava, and then because Lava got the book.
Lava won twice.
All right, so we thank everyone.
And she's a poet, so she's gonna really enjoy that book. She's gonna really get into it.
All right, so we thank everyone. I think that shuts down our Friday Night Live. We
Thank you for hanging
so
in there
much.
with us.
Thank
We
you,
greatly
thank you,
appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank
and,
you for
Jason, I always like to end it.
episode.
Thank you. Jason, I always end it by saying what you guys said. Marriages they don't just happen, they are built. So let's build our marriages one day at a time, brick by brick, being intentional. All right.
Happy Mother's Day, everyone.
Happy Mother's Day, everyone.
And guys, thank you so much.
Bye.
It's over.